song hard as fuck.
What's good, y'all? It's your favorite Shaboing Boing, your favorite Shaboing, your little favorite Blickety Blow, favorite all that in a bag of chips. I'm back. Been very inconsistent on the uploads lately, but it's because I had a lot going on in my life, not in a bad way. I just moved into my luxury apartment, which sparks the topic of today's video, how I manifested my luxury apartment. So without further ado, let's get into it. Also, before I start, y'all know I'm a shameless plug. Go cop that King tape, go cop the Queen tape. Got several other tapes out. Got one for students, athletes, creatives. Y'all know I make the fire tape, so go invest in yourself. Anyways, with that 40-second intro, let's get into it. I'll tell y'all how I manifested my luxury apartment. So, hold on, let me turn this air off. Hopefully that turned off. But yeah. So basically, recently I had been wanting to move, but I didn't know where I wanted to move. I wasn't specific about where I wanted to have this luxury apartment. Usually I'm like, okay, I want to be in such and such city, or such and such state. I know exactly where I want to go, but this time around I didn't know where I wanted to move because growing up as a military child, I'm accustomed to moving about every 3 years, and after a while I get tired of a place. If y'all don't know me, I lived in Miami for like 6 years, which was a great time, which I was thinking about moving back there, but I was like, I've been there, I seen that, I know what to expect. I want to go somewhere new, experience new people, blah, 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 blah. So here's what happened as I started manifesting a new apartment. And if y'all haven't seen my TikTok, I had a song that I would listen to every day called New Apartment by Ari Lennox. Shout out to her. You can go look it up, the song's fire. And it was just basically to get me into the mindset of having a new apartment, because that's essentially what she talks about in the song, in the apartment. If you know how the song goes, you know, she goes, I just got a new apartment. I'm gonna get the floors wet, something like that. Walk around this bitch naked. Nobody can tell me shit. I ain't walked around my apartment naked because I got a roommate. But yeah. So what basically ended up happening was I had a client who became a friend, one of my closest friends now. He invited me to come up to visit him or whatever. So me being me, I'm Mr. Fuck It. Not just as in Mr. You know, fuck it, but Mr. like, all right, I'll do it, whatever, just for the experience. I'm really big on just go ahead and experience something. So I was like, all right, why not? I came up here in like January. And when I came up here, it was a 2-bedroom apartment. He already had a roommate. And at the time, I wasn't even thinking about it being somewhere where I lived. I was just coming to visit, you feel me? So I came to visit. It was great. I stayed for like a month just to like, you know, free my mind, see a new place, meet new people, this, that, and the third. So what ends up happening is actually fucking insane, and I'm gonna try to keep this story under 10 minutes or keep it fairly short, but it is actually wild. So I moved here. It was my client, who's now my friend, and his roommate at the time. So I get here, and I was like, you know, this is pretty decent or whatever. And right away, I almost felt like the roommate didn't like me. All right, so I'm back. My phone kept cutting off, but not that the roommate didn't like me, but somebody who was like passive aggressive towards me. And funny enough, my client, like I said, who's now my friend, one thing I learned from him is he's very, he says like vicious in the 40. Like, I feel like before meeting this person, I was very nice, like almost too nice to people, but meeting him kind of revealed something in me. So I'm gonna tell y'all what ended up happening. So as I'm up here, I'm cooling, I'm kicking it, you know, just doing my thing, chilling. The roommate, like I said, just being passive aggressive towards me. And one day he said something to me that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. And I sat here one day, like laying down. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if this was my apartment? Like, I figured out this was the apartment I wanted. And some of y'all might be like, oh, that's evil, blah, blah, blah. But I'm gonna tell you what ends up happening that made it to where now this is my apartment and the roommate's gone. Y'all can call this a third party or whatever. But so what ends up happening is once I sat there and was like, yeah, this is my apartment now, you feel me? Because like I said, he rubbed me the wrong way. It's almost like evil manifesting per se, but bro was already on some fuck shit. I don't want to say too much about him, but I wish him well now wherever he is, because he been through some shit. He went through some shit prior to this whole me sitting there and imagining like, what if this was my apartment? So what ends up happening was actually fucking insane, and I'm sorry that it took like 4 or 5 minutes to get into this, but basically I'm gonna try to sum this up because it was actually wild as fuck. So here's what transpired after I said, you know what, this is my apartment now. I didn't force anything. I didn't try to be a dickhead. I'm not that type of person. I'm not someone that's gonna try to drive someone out or force things into 3D. Y'all know me. I'm not that type of person. I'm very cordial. I'm cool, calm, and collected. I ain't say nothing. I ain't do nothing to bro. I kept it P, feel me? So the first thing that happened was my roommate has a car, and his roommate at the time, like we're talking about, he ends up borrowing it one night. We go out, me, my client's roommate, and a couple of other girls. We all went out, and he takes my roommate's car. So we went out. This man almost gets in a fight with like 5 people. I had to de-escalate it. Like I said, I had no ill intent towards this man. He almost got his ass beat, and I de-escalated it. You feel me? I was like, nah, you feel me? He was a little intoxicated. So I de-escalated a 5v1 fight because he was talking crazy. He ends up meeting some dude out, right? And we're like, all right, let's go home. He takes the dude home that he just met. We go back to the girl's place. So it's me, my client's roommate, the dude that he met, and like 4 other girls. We're all chilling. I remember being in one of the girls' rooms playing Call of Duty or whatever, and him and the dude that he brought back that he just met, they start arguing, and basically it comes to blows. And I remember like right before they got in a fight, he's like, you really want to fuck with me? I was a state champ wrestler or some shit like that. He says some crazy shit. And to sum that up, the roommate ends up getting his shit beat in the girl's room, like gets his ass beat in the girl's room. Mind you, like I said, he's intoxicated. So he leaves the apartment that we're at, takes my roommate's car, he's drunk as fuck, crashes it on the way out, right? And he called my client and was saying like, oh, I'm gonna say it's my boy, but just so y'all know, like characters. He calls my client and goes, oh, the dude that I got in a fight with, he ripped the bumper off your car, blah, blah, blah. And we're all sitting there like, that don't add the fuck up, because how, one, you just met the man. How would he know what car you drive? And then 2, how the fuck somebody just ripped a bumper off the car? Ain't nobody that damn strong, you feel me? So we put 2 and 2 together, he crashed the car. That was the first strike 1. Strike 2 was he had a substance abuse problem. So every night that I was here, I'm talking about like, I hate to sound like this, but if y'all have ever seen like, it's almost like the palm colored people stereotype that they, you know, where's the blow, baby? Bro was on that shit every fucking night. I'm talking about this man had to be a maniac, but he was cool at the same time. So I'm trying not to make him sound crazy. Like he was on that shit, but he was cool at the same time. Like he wasn't like starting no problems with me, I should say. So he was on that shit like every night. Then I remember one night specifically, he was like doing blow. Where's the blow, baby? He's doing the blow. And he was taking shots of Tito's and chasing the shots of Tito's with NyQuil. Like it was like watching somebody self-destruct right in front of me. It was almost sad because I couldn't do anything about it. Like I couldn't tell him like, oh man, sometimes people need to learn their life lesson on their own. So there was that. And he kept being behind on rent because of his problem with, you know, the blow. That shit ain't cheap. If y'all don't know, ain't nothing cheap about getting cocaine. Ain't nothing cheap about that shit. So didn't pay 2 months of rent. That was strike 2. The first strike was getting in a fight, crashing the car, and lying about it. And I forget what the third thing he did was. Oh, the third thing he did, my client owns a business, right? And he was telling all his friends that like he was basically gonna take my client's business. He was gonna like basically butter him up for a couple months and then take his business, like steal it from him. My client finds out, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back type shit. You feel me? So he ends up, my client ends up basically kicking him out through a series of events. He ends up kicking him out or whatever. And once he was finally gone, he had to go to jail because he violated his probation. Bro was on all types of shit. He was doing there's so much more in this story. It's hard to keep up. I wish I could like go into detail, but I'm trying to keep it short. Like I said, he ends up kicking him out. And after that, this is when my client was like, well, he's gone now. So if you want to live here, or like, if you want to stay up here and have an apartment, you can do that. And I was like, let me think about it for a couple of days. Cause you feel me? Like, this is a place I've never been. Probably a place I would have never expected to be. Like, if you would have told me like, yeah, you're going to live here for X amount of time, I would have like, nigga, get the fuck out of my face. You feel me? But I thought about it for a couple of days and I was like, yeah, I can see myself up here. Plus we got other ventures we're getting into. If you see my other channel, I started it up for a little bit where we was doing like street interviews, but we'll be back to doing that just for fun. Creating content, because I don't want to always just be goated manifesting and only create manifestation content. My personality is so much bigger than that. So yeah, we were like, all right, cool, I could do that. Like, we could do our little video shit. I could stay up here. You feel me? So that's how the apartment ended up being manifested to be mine. The roommate basically started acting an ass, doing a whole bunch of fuckery, and got kicked out. You feel me? Like I said, this kind of reminds me of the X-Back story that I posted. If it was up to me, as far as like the bridge of events, I would have never had it play out that way. You feel me? Because I would have been fine getting my own shit, but I would have never had it play out that way. But the way it played out, it was like, it's like we tell people, it always will feel natural. And the whole time I wasn't reacting to anything. I wasn't like, oh, this shit gonna take long, or blah, 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 or like, I never hate anybody. So whole time I'm just chilling. And I never really reacted. I was just watching the series of events play out. And those were the series of events that got him kicked out, which led to me being a co-owner of this apartment, this luxury apartment. It's nice as shit. I will give y'all a tour, but I'm just in the front room right now, chilling. So, oh, y'all see me though, I'm dripping too. Got my drip up. So yeah, that's how the apartment ended up being mine. That's how I manifested the luxury apartment, and now I stay out here, and it's been great. I might give y'all like a tour of like the rest of the building. I'll think about it maybe in like another video or like on a separate channel, just not on this one. But yeah, it was a little crazy story. Like I said, I didn't want to go too far into detail. I wanted to keep this fairly short. And it's just a lesson for everybody. Like, whenever you start desiring something, you start manifesting it, you never know what series of events that'll play out, that'll lead you to your manifestation or lead you to getting what you want. And by the time I actually ended up getting the apartment, I didn't really think about it, but I was like, damn, I really do got a new apartment now, and it's dope as fuck. You feel me? The people are dope. The location is dope. Everything about it is great. So it's just crazy that it had to play out that way. But like I said, y'all never fucking know what series of events will play out. And on top of that, a lot of times it would have felt like this would have happened anyway. Because I said, bro had these problems when I came here. Like, he was already doing the shit that sniff the nose candy. He was already having alcoholic problems, shit like that. Already had violated probation. So there was that. It's like I said, it felt like it would have happened anyway, but that's how it played out. That's how I ended up manifesting my new luxury apartment. So with that being said, that's the video. I intend that y'all enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the place. I try my best to do like explain these stories because they're actually insane. But yeah, so with that being said, it's been your favorite Shaboing Boing, your favorite Shaboing Lloyd, favorite Shablickety Blah, your favorite all that, and a bag of chips. And we out. I'll catch you in the next one, baby.